And then,
Did you notice? Didn't it seem weird that like Zoe Saldana, her character, only dated white guys, but nobody ever brought that fact up?
but you know something? I'm beginning to think that that's something with Neil LaBute. I mean, because he's the one that did Lakeview Terrace, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh, the black people really hate white people, and they only hate the white people because they're dating black women, and the white guys are innocent.
Neil LaBute didn't direct this.
Yes.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh shit!
The guy who did
No. I know who Neil LaBute is.
For the people out there, I would tell them who he is. He wrote your friend. Wait a minute. What did he do? Did he direct? He directed Your Friends and Neighbors.
Yes.
What else did he do?
I think Nurse Betty, but
Nurse Betty.
I mean, he has a history of doing these things that are great, but they're like always like really fucked up stories.
When I first saw who directed this, I thought the same thing. I'm like,
Holy
that guy
cow.
who directed all these dramas is now directing like this crazy black comedy.
That's heartbreaking.
No, because this, you look at the story and you're like, I can see how you could tell this story with the setup and it could be really interesting and even really funny. But it's like every opportunity they were just like, nah, let's go for the easy joke.
Yeah.
Let's go for the ABC Family joke or the
Except we'll say fuck a
or the
lot.
homophobia joke or whatever it is. It's like there's nothing really. The gags are so lazy here. Every once in a while Danny Glover says something that's funny, but that's really about it.
And the situation with the dwarf where, something happens to him and the way they resolve that, I was like, okay, now this is just becoming cartoonish. It's like who would really treat the situation like that? So I think it would have been funny if they would have just treated the actual situation a little bit more seriously.
Neil LaBute also did The Wicker Man, so he's not on a roll
shit.
here. Yeah.
What happened to that guy?
Money. That's what happened.
But it's still a lot of y'all's complaints. They were in the original British movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's really hard to
hard to
blame
knock this
this
one for
film for that. I mean, they just transferred the script and put a black coat of paint on it. So
Well, didn't Chris Rock kind of buy the rights to that film? Isn't he the one who kind of brought this over and produced this?
He's one of the producers.
Okay, so I mean, you can blame Chris Rock 100% then. Say, look, man, you shouldn't have liked that film enough to pay for it and remake it. It's your fault for being. Look, don't be a critic. Is all I'm saying.
Maybe it was cheap to buy it. Anyway, he got it.
Yeah, it was a bargain right there.
Because black people were like, oh, Death at a Funeral. I loved that movie. I can hardly wait to see it with black people, with proper folk.
Bringing a taste of Johnny O. England to the ghetto.
I mean, to be fair, maybe somebody said, okay, what's crazier than like a black wedding or funeral? Nothing. So let's bring it there. Why wouldn't that be more funny?
I will say that most of the actors that get on my nerves were the ones that did not bother me in this movie. And the scenes that they had together, I did enjoy. Like that whole thing where they were trying to cover up an incident in this film that had Tracy Morgan, Chris Rock, and Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
When they had all those guys together, I actually liked them together in this film. So, I mean, this is not a good movie whatsoever. I mean, it is about as lowest the common denominator as you can get. I mean, they are not trying to do anything but just get by on people who would laugh at a fart joke.
Yeah.
And throwing a midget across the room. So, but
Which is actually funny, to be fair. Midget tossing gets me every time.
They did throw him behind a couch, and I laughed hard.
Wait. I'm sorry. Dwarf tossing.
Yeah.
No, hobbit tossing.
Hobbit tossing.
Okay.
But I did laugh enough to get to rate this a rental.
It's funny. I've been going back and forth between, like, I know it always sounds silly to say some old bullshit, but we've got low rental, low full price. So we got to have a high some old bullshit and low rental. And I want to defend it more, but the more I think about it, the more I really disliked it, the more it left a nasty taste in my mouth. But there were performances here and there funny. Danny Glover is first time he's made me entertained in anything in a while. So I was like,
Since Predator 2.
Yeah. So
that was a great film.
So you know what? I'm gonna be nice and give it a low rental.
All right.
Oh, well, shit. Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I went back and forth. I sat through a lot of it just in pain, just bored. And I'm like, I know it's not your fault, because you're just copying the original. A lot of times people are like, man, I wish it could have been more faithful. It's like, well, this is what you get when things are faithful sometimes. Yeah. But, I got chuckles, never one laugh. I want to see not even just not one big laugh. That's not even one laugh, but several little chuckles, low rental.
All right.
I'll give it a rental as well, only because it filled my quota for black foolishness in cinema this year.
You got it all right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Danny Glover, awesome as hell, and I did enjoy the dwarf segment where you find out that the father was having some fun time with him. That was pretty funny. That made me laugh. But rental.
All right.
Yeah.
I was hoping he was going to have, video, because I would thought it would have been great if it was like the two of them up on stage in drag singing show tunes or something.
Who, you talking about the
Peter Dinklage and the dad? Yeah, that would have been awesome. That totally would have added doing a big Dreamgirls sequence. Yeah, right?
Well, they have videos.
It could have been. I just ran the hell out of there once that movie was done.
They have videos down the street at that kind of funny guys.
Do they? Can you see midgets with old black
guys? That's what you're looking for.
Having drag sex?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. That's what I was
right
looking for.
Street,
Although to be fair, I think midget and dwarf are actually medical terms. They're different things. They're totally different things.
Yeah.
So what we have, this is to a very small select group of people, this was our most offensive episode ever.
You just ruined Chris Rock for me, though. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah.
Because I do not want to see another Chris Rock act unless he is a dummy sitting on somebody's lap.
Well, I swear to God, when I see Chris Rock, like in the opening scene, I could just see him mumbling to himself in his head. Okay, you're mad in the scene. You're mad. You're mad. You're mad. Remember you're mad. Remember you're mad. Remember
and then all of a sudden you see his head just shake like crazy and his eyes going back and forth.
I know. I want to see a guy on stage drinking a glass of milk while the dummies on his lap. That difference between black people and niggers is... What is it, Chris? Crack!
Let me get this straight. Our father was romantically involved with a guy that could fit in his pocket. And you're mad because he's white?